Hey guys, Coach Chris here, and what I wanted to talk about today was some intermittent fasting and fasting in general. So to start things out, intermittent fasting is nothing new. We do it every single day. From the moment you stop having dinner, so if you stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, that's when you just finished what's on your plate, and then you proceed to, watch TV, lay in bed, read, whatever, and then you go to sleep. And then you wake up in the morning, you might go exercise a little bit. But in the morning, the first time that you go to put something in your mouth that contains any nutrient content, such as if you're a morning exerciser and you put in pre-workout, BCAAs, bulletproof coffee, a protein shake, those all break your fast. So if you do that at 6 a.m. The following morning, that means you fasted for about what? Let's see, if you went to bed at 10, we'll say probably what, 8 hours. So you did an 8-hour intermittent fast. It's that easy. There's nothing to really explain about it. Because we do it every day. It's nothing new. But what a lot of people will do is they will extend that fast, which, by the way, breakfast, that's where we get that word, is we would break the fast. So it got shortened up through the decades to breakfast. So what intermittent fasting does in today's world, for context of people writing articles, people doing videos, people trying to do certain things for goals, is they will shorten that or kind of lengthen that fasting window to like a 12-12 fast or a 16-8 fast or an 18-6 fast. Some people do 20-4, and some people do a 1 meal a day, which for the record, there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're getting the nutrients that your body requires for what you're asking your body to do. So if you sit down all day at a desk, like me, I'm a desk jockey, and I should say like me before I started getting into triathlon and other sports, but I would wake up, I'd get out of bed, I'd shower, I'd drive to work, I'd sit down at work, I'd drive home, and I'd sit down, watch some more TV or play video games. So I wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. So I didn't, if I wanted to go on like a 1 meal a day plan, I'd be perfectly fine, because I'm not asking my body to go out and do the same thing that I do now, which is I wake up, I either cycle or run for 30 to 60 minutes, and then I sit on my butt all day at work, watching computer screens, and then maybe at lunch I'll do a quick 30 to 60 minute spin, and in the evenings I'll be on my feet all day or in the pool coaching. So my daily requirements are a little bit different. So my fueling plan, I might not need to eat all through the day, but my meals are definitely going to be comprised of different nutrients, a little bit more protein, maybe a little bit more carbohydrates, but not much, because predominantly I'm burning fat throughout the day doing everything I do. So how does fasting, what's the purpose of fasting? The reason why we fast really is for health. When we fast, our liver glycogen slowly starts to go down, so we don't have as much blood sugar floating around in our bloodstream. And for insulin response, so type 2 diabetics, which are on the rise amongst endurance athletes, it slowly reverses a lot of that insulin resistance. So those all that sugar that we have going on in our body slowly starts to deplete, and with that, inflammation goes down. Our brain starts to function better because we don't have all that inflammatory blood glucose going on up there. So how does that affect athletic performance? Well, if you're feeling crappy and you try and go out and have a great workout, I'm pretty sure, regardless of what your nutrition is, if you feel like crap, you're not going to have a good performing workout. But if you move to a 16-8 fast and you feel great. Energy's there, and you go work out. We'll say it's a 90-minute workout in the, good 10-minute warm up, a couple of, interval pickups in the beginning, nice, easy, steady state in the middle, followed by maybe 1 or 2 marathon paces towards the end, and then a cool down. If your 16-8 fasting meal plan gets you through the workout, you're feeling great. No aches, no pains, no headaches, no like blah feeling, then you're perfectly fine with that. If you, some people will fast for better body composition because they want to utilize more fat. And it's known that if you're constantly eating carbohydrates, you are not burning fat. It's just how our body's energy systems work. Carbohydrates, it's the simpler fuel for our body to burn. If it's readily available, we'll be burning that over fat, and that has to do with our insulin and glucagon hormones. So body fat wise, if you're restricting your carbohydrates and you're forcing your body to burn more fat, even during some of those workouts, again, completely fine. How does that affect performance? Ask any coach out there. If you lose fat and you lose weight, naturally you're going to perform better. So it has to do with really, what are your current goals? How do you plan to achieve those current goals? So when I was fat, and I use that term very openly, I was fat. My goal should have been fat loss over performance. But what I did is I went over the performance through the fat. Now, I very well couldn't perform at a 6-minute mile when I was 350 pounds. But yet everything that I would read, everything that I would see from the expert articles on like bodybuilding.com, some of the endurance stuff, would all be, oh, you got to carb up for this, carb up for that. It's all about performance. And the reality is, as soon as I dropped that 150 pounds to, to what I pretty much try to race at now, which is around 200 to 210, my feet don't hurt after running. My legs and my knees don't hurt after running. My hips don't really hurt as long as I take care of them, which I'm awfully bad at. So there's a combination of things, looking at the big picture and not through the microscope of a lot of people when they look at dietary changes. They look at it as strictly, oh, well, what's the immediate impact on performance? And not everything will have a drastic immediate impact on performance. There's goals, there's priorities, and being able to work with a sports nutritionist such as myself to make sure that you set your priorities right, because sometimes the priorities of the athlete aren't always the right priorities for the end goal, and being able to take that kind of that competitive spirit out of it and set smart, achievable goals. We can make sure that, hey, if you have 2 years to train to qualify for Boston, but you have 80 pounds that you have to get off, and you want to get that off as fast as possible, it might not be, hey, I've got to carb up for each and every run, even if it means it's a 30-minute run. Long distance runs, that's a whole other mess of nutrition, which we can get into if you want to work one-on-one. But it really is following all the various meal strategies out there to get your required outcome. So fasting is one of them. Sometimes the extended 3-day fast could be one of those. And does that go with 3 workouts a day at Tabata sprints? Probably not, because that's fucking stupid. Could you easily do it if you've got a 2-hour zone 1 and zone 2 bike ride? Absolutely. So being able to, first off, speak with somebody who knows all the different zones that train at, what the energy use is from your body at the different zones, knowing what you do all day and what's fueling what when you do what, it plays a big role. So that's kind of my take on fasting, is that it is a great tool towards health and longevity, which in the end kind of improves performance. It's a good goal for fat loss and body composition, which has a nice indirect result of improving performance. And a lot of people will find that they feel better when they're not having to eat all the time. So, it's just another tool in the toolbox. Does it have its place in sports? Absolutely. Just like ketogenic diet, just like a low carb, high fat, just like a high carb, low fat diet, just like vegetarian, just like vegetarian, pescatarian. And in my opinion, the one diet that has no place in anybody's life is the standard American diet. So that's my take on fasting, along with a lot of other information. Feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. Just search for Chris Hawley. If we're not friends already, shoot me a message. I'll be happy to talk more and more. And hope you enjoyed the video.